guess that was my ankle, just so you know.
I think the camera's on, it's working.
All the lights over here are green, I would say that's probably good.
Oh, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Barger.
Here.
Nauer.
Here.
Maxon.
Yes.
Neville. Lundquist.
Yes.
Rittmeister.
Yes.
Pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recognition of guests. It looks like we have one guest in the audience. Mike, thanks for coming.
I guess I didn't miss last month, I guess I am a guest.
Approval of the consent agenda, which includes the minutes and the claims and accounts.
AVP Energy, $2,285.01. Casey's General Store, $1,564.18. Erickson Davis Murphy, $1,440. I&B, $4,412.77. William Stewart, $800, and Ron Stewart, $555.
Is there any questions on the minutes or the claims and accounts? If there is none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Officer reports. Tony?
Not a whole lot. I do have one thing, I guess, the school, just watching the buses, you know, there on Cook Street, we had a couple incidents, but still keeping an eye on it and going around the school bus. So, other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Good. Matt?
Oh, I got several things to talk about. Last time I touched on that we were working on the tree work for the Fall Festival parade. We pretty much got that all sewed up and looking pretty good. So I think everybody will be happy with that. I drafted a letter to the CN, hopefully trying to send us their copies of the documentation that they're looking for from us, seeing how it's non-existent here. Now, why that is I don't know, but I haven't heard back from them yet, but I did draft a letter and got that in the works. Last Friday, obviously, we had a ton of rain. We had a problem down on Spring Street. I had the emergency pump running, and it inadvertently shut itself off. Water started backing back up. Manhole lid come off. Matter of fact, it was a good 2 foot away, so it was basically a gaping hole of pouring water coming out of the street, and a citizen hit it with his car. So we're kind of working through the process of getting that taken care of. Let's see here. MFT project. I was informed that was put out for bid, and the bid opening will be the 13th, which is Thursday. And last I heard, it's up here at City Hall, so that progress is moving forward.
That was for the seal coating, right?
I think there were several projects involved. I think there was some ditch work, some seal coating work, or not seal coating, but some crack sealing work.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Also, I've been in touch between the Water Committee and myself and Lee Beckman at Milano Grunlow, and we're proceeding to move forward with a main extension from basically out at Hawthorne out to Heron Fertilizer, so there'll be a dedicated line to them. I know we've talked about it before, but we finally are moving forward with that and starting that process to go. And we'd really like to kind of see it happen by the end of the year. Now, whether that accomplishes, I don't know. It's kind of a tight time frame there, but that's what we're after. And that's pretty much what I have.
Is that something that we'll do? Or
No, that would be a contract work.
is there an estimate about how many feet it is, or about how much money it is per foot of water line brand new?
I have it, but I don't have it right in front of me. It depends on the size and material, obviously, that you're using.
What size you gonna run out there?
6 inch.
6 inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have them calcs, I don't have them right in front of me, unfortunately.
Okay. Anything else from Matt? Tricia?
The only thing I have is one of our smallest deposits I think I've ever seen. Just some rock and ordinance violation. So, in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, moving on to old business, the ordinance changes, which I gave you guys. This is something that we've been working on here the last couple of weeks, last month or so. Greg's not here tonight. I think the main, will you care to explain the main changes?
Yeah,
since you
sure.
wrote it up?
The citizen that presented this to me, basically had drafted a lot of what they hoped to change in this, so I pretty much adopted that. The first page, section 1, basically requires, it no longer excludes a fence, it now includes a fence. The second page basically excluded a permit. I made it at the discretion of the building inspector for any alteration or erection to improve disability accommodation or accessibility. And I think that was the goal there, was to say if you're gonna make a change related to, disability accessibility, then we're gonna waive the fee for that. I included in there at the discretion of the building inspector. So somebody's got a say in whether or not that's gonna happen, so.
Right. So just two main changes then. Any questions on any of this? Does anyone have a chance to read it? I can give you a sec to read it if you want to go over it another time.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So section 1, the only thing you have changed is you're including a fence. That's the only thing you've changed in section 1?
Correct.
Okay. And then with the deal with the,
Just so that everybody's clear, the language that's crossed out will be deleted, and then the language that is underlined is added. And that's just typically how I've drafted ordinances in the past.
and for the fee, I'm all for that, but I wanna make sure that it still gets inspected, because it needs to be up to code on disability. Just-
Yeah, and
just
again,
make sure
the
that-
fee for a permit may be waived. So
just making sure I understand.
my reading of that is that it still requires the inspection if required.
Okay.
Just the fee can be waived at the discretion of the building inspector. Good question.
Any other questions or concerns?
Do you want to approve that, or you want to wait for Andrew? I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knows what's going on there.
That's entirely up to you guys. I mean, if you guys want to wait, if you want to get Andrew's input on it, or wait till he looks at it, you can. We have a quorum. You can pass it tonight if you want.
I make a motion that we accept the changes to the ordinance.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Oldenbarger,
Yes.
Knauer,
Yes.
Maxheimer,
Yes.
Palmquist,
Yes.
Whitmeister.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, under new business, we had an economic development board meeting last night, but unfortunately there wasn't a quorum, so there was no action taken. So there will be no need to have a business district appropriation. Moving on, as far as the committee appointments, I need to change those, seeing as how we have a new alderman and Willie. What I'm going to do, let's see, I have these written down somewhere. I know which ones they are. Really, the only change that I'm gonna make is seeing, Joyce is the only one on finance, and Andrew is on streets and alleys and water. So I'm going to move Andrew to finance and place Willie on the streets and alleys. And remove Andrew from streets and alleys and place him on the finance committee, and then place Willie on the streets and alleys committee. Does that sound okay to everybody? Okay. Other business. Does anybody have any other business?
Did, Wilkins,
Yes, that can go to Paul, I think, does the count, no, that just stays on file in our office, that's all that does. I don't think we have to send it to the clerk.
just wanna make sure.
Yep, thank you, Billy.
I want to go back to Tony. Minor thing. I was taking my kid to school yesterday, day before. There was a fox over there, little mangy thing, been running around. I think there's been a. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, finish, and then
Uh,
I can maybe elaborate
It's
if you
been a
can.
few weeks ago. Somebody was like trying to run it out of town. I think it might be a different one, or maybe just getting worse. But he was really skinny, mangy looking. I didn't know if anybody had contacted animal control.
Yeah, I contacted, Larry Wilkham. And, I've had calls about it, and I go out and I try to find it, and of course then I can't find it. He did text me yesterday, I believe, and he said he was able to trap that one. I've been told, I think there's another one.
Mhm.
So, I'll be watching for that one as well. He will.
I mean, it don't really seem like it's really aggressive or anything. It's just kind
Right.
of wandering around,
But it's still,
maybe diseased or something.
Right.
It's kind of odd.
I don't
We
wanna
had,
find out.
Max and I had talked to Larry yesterday afternoon, probably about the time he texted you, that he had caught and trapped the one. And he was all excited because he trapped the one that everybody seems to be chasing. I said, well, that doesn't explain the one that Max and I just seen about an hour ago over by Coogan's meat locker. And mangy looking like what you're saying. Oh my, wow, this thing. But didn't seem to be a danger, but
But still, yeah.
still, it doesn't need to be in town, obviously. So Larry is on the hunt to get this last one and whatever else comes up, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for it. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
You said it was over by the school area, or?
Yeah, it was like, you know where the old dentist offices, or whatever it was like right there by the alley across the street.
Okay.
Yeah, we seen it just a block south of that.
And that's where I've been kinda getting calls in that area. I was on a school call and said, hey, we're letting the kids out, and that fox is shooting, heading west. So I started running around.
Poor thing didn't have much hair on it. You hardly could tell it's a fox.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, it looks that bad.
It's pretty much.
You've had one down by the gym for quite a while too. I don't know, maybe one of the same ones, covering some territory.
Could be.
Yeah.
And that's something we have to talk to Larry on that, or some other one that's got a legal trapping license, because doesn't the Logan County Animal Control only handle domesticated
Right,
animals?
Yes.
I believe so, you're right. Yes.
Okay.
And he's been doing a good job. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trapped, what, 7 or 8 this year. I mean, which is a big number really for foxes, but, so, I mean, we've made some headway on it, but just got a few that are being a little more elusive than others.
Right. Any other business? I have a few things, Abbott's and Bridges, Estes and, I can never remember their dang name, I got the arts on that. Estes, Ogden and Bridgewater, the
right.
firm that does our audit has been in touch with Abbott's, and Crystal will be helping out a little bit this year as well, just because she was on for most of the change when they changed over to QuickBooks. Crystal was very receptive on helping with that. I appreciate that from her. They're going to be starting that at the end of the month. Probably will be on the first or second agenda in October, we'll have the audit presentation. On the Visitors Welcome Center, that was, I don't know if you guys read that in the paper, we've been talking about that. We didn't get a chance to talk about it very much at the development board meeting last night, but Bill Thomas from the Logan County Economic Development Partnership was there discussing it. If anybody has any ideas about possibly a location, the idea is to get everyone in Logan County to have a visitor center that promotes all of Logan County, because, you know, someone that stops in Lincoln and sees and buys something in Lincoln, it can be good for Mount Pulaski if they have a welcome center that has all the towns included about what the county-wide sites are. Obviously, there'd be a cost with building a building. That's still under review. We're still getting some more information about it, but it seems like it might be a good idea if it's feasible and, you know, low cost, and it doesn't necessarily have to be manned. It doesn't necessarily have to be staffed 24 hours a day. There's some automated stuff that they were talking about, video screens and stuff like that, and just, you know, pamphlets and stuff like that to have available in a weatherproof casing. I'll have more on that here in the next coming weeks. Like I said, there wasn't very many. There was only 2 people that showed up to the meeting last night, so I'd like to get everybody else's input from the development board as well before we make a presentation to the council, because obviously it'll be up to you guys whether or not we're going to do this or you know, approve the location of it. That's all I have on that. And just a reminder, the fall festival is this weekend. Try to get out and support the community. Looks like they got a lot of stuff planned. I don't know, Community Pride works hard at that. Best we can do is, you know, own our presence and then support. So, and that's all I have. Is there any public comments? Is there a reason for anybody to go to executive session? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Don't want to jump at once.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Thanks for coming, guys.
15 or so minutes later. We agreed last time.
No, it doesn't matter. Nobody can-
Hey, Matt, just- We're going to shut this off.
Run all right.
Should I just unplug?
No, I still got to.
Yeah, no, I think the one back there.
Is it firing up?